Alright, Shalom. First of all, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on a downtown Indianapolis shooting that resulted in 2 women getting injured. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article with some precepts and the words will hear out of it. It says IMPD is investigating after 2 women were injured in a shooting in downtown Indianapolis early Friday morning. The shooting was reported shortly before 3 a.m. September 5th in the 200 block of South Meridian Street near Georgia Street. Responding officers located 2 victims listed as women in a public police report with gunshot wounds. Both victims were described as awake and breathing when taken to hospital. So, it's a relatively short article. And then you have these other articles. Teen fugitive busted in NYC shooting for allegedly firing 15 rounds that killed Walker using Gran. Says 1 man dead after shooting in northwest Iowa. Says police investigate shooting on I-880 in Oakland. A man killed in Kansas City. Kansas bank drive-through shooting. Says shooting outside Independence Quick Trip under investigation. 1 hospitalized. 2 injured in Las Cruz Park shooting. 1 airlifted to El Paso Hospital. Arrest made in West Des Moines shooting that injured 1. Said Florida State football's Ethan Pritchard in stable condition after getting shot in the head. A 3-year-old dies in accidental shooting. But what these people don't understand is that there's no such thing as an accident. Zephaniah 3 and 5, the just Lord Yahweh is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. And that's right. There is no such thing as accidents. This is all the judgment of the Lord. The Heavenly Father is in the midst of all these shootings that have taken place. The ones where people have gotten wounded and the ones where people have gotten killed. And like it says, he will not do iniquity. You look up the definition of iniquity and it means wickedness. So the scriptures are letting you know that the Heavenly Father does not do wickedness when it comes to his judgments. Or anything else for that matter. And every morning, he brings his judgments to light. And that's what we end up reading about or seeing videos about, is the judgments of the Lord. Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hegeon Selah. So once again, the scriptures are letting you know that this is the Lord's judgment. These shootings, these stabbings, hit and runs, car crashes, fires, storms, tempests, earthquakes, animal attacks. These are all the Lord's judgments. These are the ways in which he's punishing these wicked people with whom he is angry with. Psalm 7 and 11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And that's why judgments take place every day. Because wicked people are out here doing wickedness every day, and the Lord is judging them, having sore strokes laid upon them. Like it says in Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28, that there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So every day the Lord is using his spirits of vengeance to lay sore strokes upon these people that he's angry with, whether they be men, women, or children. And in verse 29, it says, fire, hail, famine, and death. All these were created for vengeance. So for people who get killed, in these shootings, these stabbings, these car crashes, these fires, and every other judgment from the Lord, they merely got visited by the Lord's spirit of vengeance. And these wicked people are merely reaping what they've sown. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. So neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And that's right. Nobody can deliver you out of the hand of the Lord. So when they say, in that one article that a 3-year-old got shot in an accidental shooting, like there's no such thing as an accident. The Lord wanted that shooting to happen, and he wanted that 3-year-old to get hit. That's why it played out that way. But a lot of people are ignorant and simple, and they don't understand how the Lord operates. Anybody who gets wounded or killed in any kind of way, that was judgment from the Heavenly Father being brought upon them. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't random. Job 4 and 7, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has ever perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. So, these little kids, these babies that die, these women, these men, none of them are innocent. It doesn't matter what they were doing at the time that judgment was brought upon them. They were still not innocent. Doesn't matter if they were just walking through the mall and they got stabbed, or they were sitting on their front porch and they got shot. They were not innocent. Just because in the moment they weren't doing anything wrong, the Lord brought that judgment upon them for something or multiple things that they have done wrong. But like I said, majority of people can't wrap their head around that. They don't understand that the Lord doesn't operate on their time. The Lord executes his judgments on whoever he wants, whenever he wants. It could be 30 years later. It could be a whole lifetime later. The Lord will still bring judgment when he wants to. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's where these judgments come into play. These wicked people have to reap what they've sown. And like I said before, when it comes to children, like a 3-year-old, they're more than likely getting judged for something they did in their past life because they're too young in this life to have really gotten into any wickedness. So that judgment that they received was for something they did in their past life, and they're getting punished for it now. Which means that reincarnation is a thing, which those of us of the Hope Elect already knew that, because the scriptures say that in every third or fourth generation we get brought back. And every third or fourth generation you get brought back so that you can play out the judgment that the Lord has in store for you. You die, you go to the spirit world, you receive your judgment from the Lord. He tells you, how your judgment is going to play out. And then 3-4 generations later, he sends you back down. And you're, quote unquote, born again into the world to play out your judgment, whatever that may be. So when you see articles of like little kids getting shot and, dying in fires and stuff like that, that was their judgment. And yeah, it may sound harsh, but this is what the Heavenly Father wanted. And you can be upset all you want, but there's nobody that can stop the Heavenly Father from executing judgments on whoever he wants to. So in the grand scheme of things, your feelings don't matter. For those people who want to get all in their feelings about the way the Lord operates when it comes to his judgment. Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. And that's right. The Heavenly Father does not care if you're a celebrity, a politician, a cashier, a garbage man, a quote unquote newborn baby, a pregnant woman, an elderly person, a homeless person. The Lord does not care. If you're wicked, if he deems you to be wicked and deserving of judgment, deserving of sore strokes, then that's exactly what you're going to receive. And every single one of us on this earth can receive judgment from the Lord. No one is exempt from receiving judgment. And we always have to keep that in mind. That at any time the Lord can punish us. He can judge us. That's why brothers are constantly saying, for those of us of the Hope Elect, we got to stay locked in, stay prayed up, continue to watch and read and pray and fast and rehearse the righteous acts and follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Because you don't want to anger the Heavenly Father. Because you see what he does to people that he is angry with. And none of these judgments are pleasant judgments. And also, if the Lord has put the Spirit on you to understand these scriptures and to be able to follow them, and do the righteous acts that are within the scriptures, then you should want to do that. You should want to stay on that path. That's the Lord, looking out for you, giving you a chance. So you should not want to go astray from that. And these constant judgments, people getting wounded and killed every day all over the world, that should be a constant reminder to you as to what happens to those whom, the Lord is not pleased with. And these judgments from the Lord are just going to increase. They're going to get more severe. They're going to happen more frequently. They're going to be more deadly, more destructive. And like I said, there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. People want to talk about all these, thoughts and prayers. It doesn't matter. The Lord ain't hearing that. The Lord is not hearing prayers from wicked, evil people. 1 Peter 3:12, for the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. And that's right. So the only prayers the Lord is listening to are of those of the righteous, those of the hopeful elect. The Lord is not listening to the prayers of these wicked people, because these wicked people are not even calling upon the true names of the Lord. These wicked people are not calling upon the names of Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai. They're calling upon the names of Jesus and Jehovah and Allah and all these other names that the Lord does not answer to. And many brothers have, and of course the apostles and elders have said, it's like, if you're in a room full of people and someone calls on a name that's not yours, are you going to answer to that name? No, because it's not your name. So these wicked people that claim that they're praying to the Lord, they're not, because the Lord's name is not Jehovah, it's not Allah, it's not Jesus, so they're praying to somebody that is not going to help them, because that whoever they're praying to isn't real. So that's why when judgments take place and people say, oh, all your thoughts and your prayers don't work, that's because y'all are not praying to the proper, power. And the Lord is not going to hear the prayers of wicked people anyway. And a lot of these people are wicked, just completely wicked. And the only time that they want to pray to the Lord and all of that is when judgment gets brought upon them. Otherwise, they're out here just being as wild and as wicked and as degenerate as they can be. So the Lord understands how these people operate. He created these people, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. So he knows how these people operate. He knows that they don't care about getting their act together until judgment is brought upon them. But if judgment had never been brought upon them, if their world had not gotten turned upside down and inside out the way that the Lord does to people, these people would just continue to be wicked without a care in the world. And the only reason why they're quote unquote praying is because they just want that pain to go away so they can turn around and go back to being wicked. See, people don't like when many great miseries and sore strokes and heavy judgments are brought upon them. But it's like, if you weren't out here being wicked, the Lord wouldn't judge you like that. I mean, the Lord may chastise you, but he's not going to full on turn your world upside down. These wicked people, though, they don't understand that. They're too carnal. They're too simple. The Lord is not dealing with them. He has not blessed them with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. So they're going to continue to be out here being wicked, having this, I can do whatever I want. You only live once, only God can judge me mindset. And then when they get judged, they're going to cry and wonder why they're getting judged, as if they weren't out here doing wickedness. And even though the men of the Lord are constantly explaining to these people how it works, they're never going to understand it. It goes in one ear and out the other for these people. And at the end of the day, majority of these people, they're just set to be destroyed. There is no helping them. There is no saving them. They're a lost cause. The best thing that those of us of the hopeful elect can do is focus on each other and focus on keeping ourselves in the graces of the Lord, Like I said, the watching, the reading, the praying, the fasting, the rehearsing the righteous acts, And, we still do these lessons and we still preach, that's to reach those who the Lord may be dealing with. You know, we care about the sincere brothers and sisters out here. Everybody outside of that, the Lord doesn't want. And those people are going to continue to have heavy judgments brought upon them. So we can expect to see a lot more articles come out about shootings and stabbings and horrific car crashes and devastating fires and storms and tempests and earthquakes where so many people just get killed or seriously injured. Because that's the judgments of the Lord. And every day the judgments of the Lord take place upon wicked and rightfully deserving people. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great milestone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Au revoir, Ratazah. Till next time.